Now we are continuing our vacuum tubes versus transistor saga, and now let's talk about that. Let's see the scenario that you are an amplifier builder. You want to build your amp and you want to make it a commercial product, and you want them to have the same power output. Let's say we are going now just for a 10-watt output amplifier, and we are making a solid state version and a tube version of it. And what will be the cost of that 10-watt amp? So first of all, you will need a chassis, you will need RCA jacks on it, speaker binding posts. Maybe if you want to make it an integrated amplifier, then you need a volume control put on it, and selector switch, whatnot. So this you need in both of these cases, and they will cost the same for you. So we do not need to take this into the account, but maybe let's say that this is like between about $100 or so if you want to make them of a decent quality. So here let's keep our tab, vacuum tube versus solid state. So we need, let's make it a nice one. Let's make like $150 for the chassis and connectors and whatnot. And now, second thing, now we'll have to buy the devices that amplify the sound. So in the case of a vacuum tube, we'll need 5 vacuum tubes, 2 output tubes, 2 input tubes, and the rectifier tubes. That will be about $100 per tube, so we have about $500 tube cost if we want like really nice tubes. If you are a cheapskate, or if you really know your tubes and you don't want to go with those tubes that the industry has already discovered, because do not be alarmed, but the price of vacuum tubes is defined by demand. So if a vacuum tube is $500, it doesn't mean it's better than another one which is only $5. It means that that $500 tube has been used for present day audio companies, and there's a high demand for it. That's why the high prices. However, because of that high demand, it means that there's a lot of knowledge, a lot of lore that's known about how to use those tubes. So it will be easier for you to design an amplifier with it. But then you will be stuck with expensive tubes. However, if you are an experienced builder, then you can look up a vacuum tube that basically no one is using for audio, which costs maybe like $2 per tube, and you design your circuit around it, and it will be just as good sounding as the other amp with the $500 tubes. And in the case of transistors, you can buy them even like really nice ones, like for 10 cents a piece. It depends on what is the quantity you are buying them. If you want to make like a manufacturing run, like a big production, maybe like 1,000 amps, you can buy them like 10 cents a piece, maybe cheaper. If you buy only a few of them, maybe it's $1 each, and you need maybe like 10, 15. So maybe let's plot them down as $20. I will be splurging on premium transistors here. And then, so here now we are starting to see like a bit of a change between the two. And then to make the transistors work, you will need heat sinks, and to make the tubes work, you need tube sockets. And I would tell you guys, tube sockets are more expensive than the heat sinks for the transistors. And so maybe they will set you back about, maybe let's say like $25 here. And you know what, let's put in some really nice premium heat sinks into those amps. So let's call them even. After this point, we will need capacitors and resistors for these amps to function. In the case of your transistor amplifier, you will need things that can withstand 50 volts. So the 50 volts rating stands because let's say you are using those 14 volt transistors, maybe you are using B plus B minus rails, using them in a balanced configuration. So then you will need like 30 volts for the two of them in series, and then a 50 volt rating gives us some extra headroom so that even if there's some over voltage, we are still protected. And this means that we are using capacitors that are rated at 50 volts, and every single resistor is rated to at least 50 volts, so we do not need premium resistors. In case of our vacuum tube, we need 500 volt rated parts, so that makes for much more expensive resistors. So in the case, instead of like a few cents each, they will cost you about a few dollars each. Not a big difference, but for the capacitors, yes. So you will need capacitors which are rated to 500-600 volts for filtering the high voltage, and that's much more expensive than caps which are rated only to 50 volts. So if you take all of those into account, that will also add a significant sum for the parts. Let's say for the transistor amp, it will add about maybe like an extra, let's purge, maybe like $50. And for your tube, it can add easily like an extra $200. And also we need transformers. So for vacuum tubes, you need output transformer. To be able to hook them up to stickers, you need output transformers, and they can be easily from $100 each, which is like really junk output transformer, to thousands of dollars each for nice output transformers. So let's go for $400 each. For stereo, you need two. So we are here at $800. And for transistor, you don't need output transformers. There's no cost for that. And then we would need a power transformer as well. So for the transistors, people usually use toroids, and they do not need any high voltage rating. You just need to have them rated at 120 volts for US or 240 volts insulation for most of the world. For vacuum tubes, you really need to have it like 600 volts plus rating, so the insulation has to be that high, which adds considerably to the cost of the transformer. And in addition, you need filament transformer as well, because you need to heat the cathode, and that adds to the price of the power transformer. So let's say if you put like $100 for a super nice transformer for a solid state amp, a comparable transformer for vacuum tube or transformer selection, because you either have one with multiple windings or multiple transformers, that will be probably about $200 or more to have a similar quality. So for the same power, for this 10 watt premium amp that you are building, let's add all of this together, 250. So that's about $350 parts cost. And in this case, oh boy, this will mount up. We are 1,200, what's that? 300, 1,800, 1,900. So we are almost at 2K for parts cost. So, and both of these are really deluxe versions of these amplifiers. And now you need that we have a problem here, is that, or I would say we have an advantage here, that solid state amps are much cheaper than vacuum tube amps, because the parts that you need for them to make them work, to give the same power output, are much cheaper compared to building a vacuum tube version of that amplifier. So I hope this helps a little bit to illuminate to everyone why there are no $500 amplifiers, tube amps on the market, and why a quality tube amplifier is between $5,000 to $10,000. And that's like 10K. I'm missing the K there. So like a deluxe amplifier, deluxe tube amp is about this price range to make it work, because like this is just the parts cost. You have to factor in the design cost, the labor cost, and for a tube amp, you can, the other limitation is that you can build only a few pieces, because even a monkey can put together a solid state amplifier. You have your circuit board, the parts go in there, you hire like cheap labor students for the summer, and they just solder it together, you know, put it together, that's it. There's no skill required. If you have a vacuum tube amplifier point to point soldered, you need someone who is really experienced with it, and it's going to take for that person probably several days to prepare that amp. And at the same time, those two students who they can crank out maybe like dozens or hundreds of these solid state amplifiers. And because of that, because they can crank it out so cheap, so fast, the manufacturing cost that factors into this is not much. But if there's a guy, you have to pay him like for 50 hours or 100 hours of labor to put this together. If it's in the United States, it will end up in this price range. However, if you build it for yourself, then an amp that costs on the market $10,000, you can build it yourself for under $2,000. I know it's still a lot of money, but suddenly it's not something unobtainium for most of us. If you just, you know, tighten up your expenses, just start cooking your own food, don't go to the movies so frequently, cut down the beer, then within a few months you can put together enough money to start working on your amp. And you can also like find out solutions that I'm going to show to you on how to find parts which deliver this quality without costing that much. So for example, for vacuum tubes, you can use vacuum tubes which are not in the mainstream but still as good, and then you will spend maybe like less than $100 on them instead of 500. I will show you a fantastic deal for output transformers, and instead of $800 a pair, they will cost you $200 a pair. And now we knocked the price down to half of it, so for about the cost of $1,000, anyone can build for themselves a really top-notch tube amplifier. But that's still 3 times the cost of a solid-state amp of the same power that you could get in a kit form. So for example, if you get a solid-state amp kit, there's lots of DIY kits. They are about this price range. Tube kits would be like this price or more. So I hope this helps a little bit to see the reality on the amplifier costs. And thank you for watching, and please like and subscribe, share, and build your amp tube or solid state. You will be happy. Bye bye.